All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Top Line. It's your boy Chris, and man. So as we know, the Lakers are sending out signals saying that they're good with the way they're going. They're not rushing to get rid of Russell Westbrook, and they can make that thing work with him, and they got a scenario where him and Patrick Beverly can start. Then they said, Patrick Beverly could start, and Russ could come off the bench. Then they add Schroeder. Then when you add Schroeder, it's like, okay, him and Schroeder gonna compete for minutes, and that's fine, whatever. But see, originally the Russell Westbrook talk and getting rid of him, the Spurs was interested. But hey, they wanted the draft pick. Well, we all know the Lakers wasn't willing to give up the draft picks to acquire, to get rid of Russell Westbrook and stuff like that. Now, the Spurs are still interested. The Spurs are still interested in making a deal for Russell Westbrook. But, again, they want those picks. And I don't know if the Spurs are willing, like they're because they pretty much is in the same mode that the Utah Jazz are in. The Utah Jazz are in rebuild mode, and sort of what the Spurs are at right now. But I don't know what the Spurs are willing to give up in addition to taking the Westbrook contract. So they got Jakob Portal, a couple other guys that they can move on from. But let's keep it real. The Spurs and the Lakers, there's no love lost between these two. The Spurs ain't gonna they help the Lakers, and vice versa, right? So yeah, they'll take the contract from Russell Westbrook. But at the same time, they're like, well, give up your draft picks. It's sort of one of those things, like, we'll do you this favor, but we ain't really doing you no favors. All right. Now, if you ask me the Kyrie Irving thing, when that was in play, give up the draft picks for Kyrie Irving, yeah, I'm with it. The Lakers actually really think that they can, I hate to say it like this, but fix Russell Westbrook. Now, I was watching a video on Russell Westbrook, a new shooting form that he's been working on. And let me say, I criticize Russ and a lot of NBA players for this, is you always see them doing the same thing. It's like watching a video of Shaq dunking, and I'm supposed to be excited. Like, I'm not gonna be excited about seeing you do what we've seen you do your entire career. What are you working on different? Well, I got to give Russell Westbrook this. This was video of him knocking down 3-point shots, a better, different shot technique that he was working on with a shooting coach. And I'm gonna say this right now before I carry on. I like that. I love that. That to me is exciting, because I've never been F Russ. I've never been that guy. I've never been the guy that was like, yo, Russ is just Never been that guy. But I also say, hey, it don't work. Like, you got to get better. It's hard for someone to get better after so many years in the league, and then you add on top of that the fact that he's won a league MVP. So now you want to tell a league MVP, hey, you need to change everything you're doing. So that takes a lot of humbling, right? But I will say this: it appears that something is clicked, because he's working on something. I love it. Now, if with Russ, should the Lakers be desperate to get rid of Russ? It's a dynamic in that, because you want to say, yo, don't never be desperate, right? Even if it don't work, maybe you can make it work. That's one side of it. Maybe Pat Bev and Russ can, Pat Bev, hey, listen, he's an excellent motivator at a minimum. He'll get the team to feel a certain way. He'll get the team to poke their chest out. He'll get them to feel that underdog mentality. And I'm not saying he's gonna come in there and change life, but sometimes, especially with the Lakers, I felt like they needed that. Right? They needed that. They needed that part. They needed to be able to come in. They need someone to be able to come in and be like, yo, it ain't all sunshine and rainbows. Like, we got to get gritty. We got to get dirty a little bit, right? I say that to say maybe he can have an impact on Russ. Seem like they're vibing now. I don't know if that's just for the cameras. But also, I think Russell Westbrook can I think he can commit to playing defense. You know, I think it's a matter of putting egos to the side and saying, all right, man, how can we help? I've got my accolades. I got my league MVP. I've got my all-star appearances. I've got everything. Now let's win. And I think that's what it takes. But for the Lakers, you don't want to come off as absolutely desperate and just doing anything. But there's another dynamic that I want to talk about. LeBron James. You got LeBron. Now you signed him. You don't want to be the organization that reneged on what they said to him. 1, 2, you don't have time with LeBron James. I understand LeBron James have been putting up great numbers in year 20, right? Like whatever year it says for him. He's the father time. But those injuries are catching up. Those injuries are starting to pile up when it comes to LeBron James, right? Oh my God. Those injuries are starting to pile up. You don't know how many games you're going to get from him. You don't know how much. Yeah, he's signed to be however long, but father time catches up with everybody. So you don't have time to figure things out. You re-sign LeBron James, which means we got to make something happen now. So that's where the desperation part comes in. If you feel like there's a move that can be made to make this team better, you have to do it. Because you want to maximize LeBron James' championship window. Because he's getting old, man. I understand that he's still doing great things, but he's getting old. So that's where the dynamic is. And I think promising LeBron James, we're going to do everything we can to be a better organization, to be competitive, to want to compete for a championship. That's a lot, man. That's a lot. Because it puts you in a mental space of, we got to start reaching. Now, this getting all these little ass guards, I don't understand. But I bring all this back to, should the Los Angeles Lakers make the deal with San Antonio, because they're still interested, but they want the picks, for them to take Russ and his contract. Now, part number 2, there's this myth, or this, I ain't gonna say myth, I'm gonna say there's this thought that the Los Angeles Lakers are gearing up for next year. So they feel like we keep our 2 draft picks, we're gonna have about around 30 million-ish in cap space next year. We can make a move. We can make a move. The problem I have with that is you can't waste a year of LeBron James. He ain't at the point where you can build around him anymore. You got to go for it. So anyway, man, that's my thought. But my question to you guys, let me know in the comments, should the Lakers make the deal with San Antonio to get rid of Russell Westbrook? That's an option. With that being said, guys, please like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Until next time, you guys be great.